Hello, today we are going to learn a new messaging protocol, that is WAM, which is Web Application Messaging Protocol, which is nowadays widely used for developing IoT applications. WAM is a protocol which is based on WebSockets. It actually enables different technologies, processes, and machines to communicate with each other in real time. It is an open standard WebSocket subprotocol that provides two application messaging patterns in one unified protocol, and those patterns are routed remote procedure calls and publish and subscribe. This WAM is free under an open license for everyone to use or implement. You can see this figure where client is communicating to a router at a transport layer through sessions. This is a particular type of WebSocket model where transport is nothing but a channel that connects two peers, and session is a conversation between two peers that runs over a transport. Now let's talk about the WAM concepts. There is client. Clients are nothing but the peers that can have one or more roles. In publish subscriber model, client can have following modes roles, that is publisher which publishes events to the topic maintained by the broker, and the subscriber subscribes to the topics and receives the events including the payload. Whereas in RPC model, client plays two roles, that is caller or callee. Caller caller issues calls to the remote procedures along with call arguments, and callee executes the procedures to which the calls are issued by the caller and returns the results back to the caller. Here, routers are nothing but the peers that perform generic call and event routing. In publish subscribe model, router has the role of broker, where broker acts as a router and routes the messages published to a topic to all subscribers subscribed to the topic. In RPC model, router also plays the same role as a broker, where the dealer acts as a router and routes RPC calls from the caller to the callee, and routes results from callee to the caller. In the application code runs on the client side, that is either publisher, subscriber, callee, or a caller. Now let's see in detail what is RPC. RPC allows to call a function from another code remotely via WebSocket. Now this is kind of a client server model. It works in asynchronous mode. It is very fast, clean and light, but very simple. What happens is when clients wants to perform a particular application or wants to execute a particular procedure, it may not be on the client side, but that procedure is a remote procedure and written on a particular server. Router plays an important role to route the particular call to the respective callee, where actually the remote procedure is executed on that particular server, and server returns the result back to the caller through a router. The parameters or return values can be arrays, mappings, numbers, or strings. This is RPC is nothing but a particular middleware technology which is widely used in distributed applications. That's why it supports different languages. That means if a client is calling a procedure in Java and a procedure is written in C, it doesn't have to worry about it, but the router will take the appropriate actions to return the particular required response to the caller. It also this RPC technology also works between local processes or across the internet. Now let's see different examples. Here you can observe that there is a browser and there is a server. Now browser wants a particular user profile. Through browser, the caller has initiated the request. This request is nothing but an RPC request which is been delivered to a particular server who is providing that service of getting the user profile. Server gets the particular procedure executed on it and binds all the results in a RPC message or a reply and returns back it to the browser. This is a simple kind of get user profile kind of request which is also been can be executed through WebSockets. Another type of example could be here you can see a browser is communicating with the another browser. If you code a chess game and Bob moves a piece, many times we play a chess online. So when I am moving, Bob is moving a piece, his browser can directly tell Jens to move the piece on her screen. So this is happening remotely through an RPC request. The another type of thing is like pushing data to the browser. So if you code a chess game with an AI and its bot's turn, the server can directly tell the human player's browser to move the piece on its screen. So this all is possible with this type of WebSocket application or a WAM protocol using routed RPC messaging pattern. Even RPC can also work or divide its services into small microservices. With a single browser, you can have multiple microservices which can act parallelly and perform the particular procedure execution and return the result back to the browser. So instead of a big central application, you can have several separated processes, each of them doing one task. So the benefits would be you can reuse them, share them between projects, restart them independently, and dispatch them on several servers. RPC is also not yet limited to only browsers, but in IoT, how it is being used. So even if through a desktop application, if you want to control an Arduino device or and a servo motor connected to that particular Arduino device, it is possible through this RPC protocol and a WAP messaging protocol. So here RPC support mixed platforms. So a desktop application can communicate with Arduino Uno, or if there is a particular accelerometer or you can say an actuator which can give a reply back to the Arduino Uno to start a particular actuator that is like a servo motor is possible with this type of messaging pattern or a protocol. Now here also you can see that there is a browser where a code or button that is a button.html is there. You are clicking this button, call it Bobby. Based on that, this indexed HTML is calling a particular procedure that is being transferred over to the particular server, and server is giving you the response back on the browser. So browser calling a function defined in another browser is the example here of RPC. How actually it works? So each piece of code using WAN is a client needing a dedicated library to do so. So here this is not a type of peer-to-peer architecture, this is type of a client-server architecture. So you will require libraries and server who will who will work as a middleware for you to get a service which is a remotely defined service. Obviously, there should be a security features like permissions, encryptions are provided. You can see here the scenario that you have you have Bob's browser and Jane's browser, and in between you can observe there is a router. This router is nothing but the middleware. So if you don't see, these Bobs cannot see what coding is being done, or router is actually relaying it all the messages through that is the WAMP messages to a particular Jane's browser. This has been done automatically. So nowadays these routers which is being used are nothing but type of crossbar.io is one of the most fully featured router which is used for IoT applications, and Autobahn are nothing but the libraries which does the work of coding and uh, providing a different services of mapping one type of code to another and getting back the results to the caller is done through these libraries. So coding is handled by Autobahn like type of libraries. You don't need to worry about it, and this type of all the routing to a particular or the respective server is been established through crossbar.io type of fully featured router. We will see how this crossbar.io work. It is an open source. This is one of the example of a router which is mostly used for developing an IoT application. It is an open source networking platform for distributed and microservice application. It is based on WAMP, that is Web Application Messaging Protocol, which is a fully features WAMP router. So this router plays a vital role. It Without a router, clients can't talk to each other. So it should be accessible via web sockets. It can manage clients lifecycle. It can also manage non-WAMP processes lifecycle to make it easy for you to create microservices oriented systems. It even packs a web servers if you need it. With Crosswire, you can create your powerful applications where the components communicate using pub and sub and RPC. So let's see how crossbar.io work for a particular IoT application. Here you can see there are multiple clients. There is a motor and there is a fan. So client connects to crossbar.io. Client connects to crossbar.io. You can see here like this. These are nothing but the clients. Clients subscribe to temperature. They are interested in the temperature of this motor. Fan is also registered his service, that is start and stop fan. Motor As soon as motor temperature rises, sensor publishes its temperature. Here you can see they have implemented a publisher subscriber model. So because of it, this motor publishes its temperature, and these clients who has subscribed for the temperature gets the notification through this crossbar.io router. So here this router working as a broker. You can see as soon as the temperature increases, this start and stop procedure is being called to start the fan to cool down the temperature. Motor temperature falls down. Again, the sensor publishes this temperature to the particular subscriber. Temperature event is dispatched, and then again the backend call to the fan to stop. is initiated and you can see the client has stopped. This is the way how router plays an important role to even in a RPC type of protocol or a publish subscribe type of protocol, where the messaging is when WAM messages WAM protocol is being implemented. Students, we will stop here, and in next lecture we will discuss about the publish and subscribe model. Thank you.